We seriously need to talk about James Charles's recent video because there's some things that he's not talking about and doesn't want us to see. And did he really just try to debunk the allegations against him? Hello and welcome back to Drama Investigator. James Charles has officially returned to YouTube after he got cancelled a few months ago for inappropriately communicating with minors. At the start of his new video, he addressed viewers' reactions to his last video, which has since been taken down, saying that his biggest piece of feedback was that his last video felt scripted. He then discussed how he felt crushed and embarrassed and sorry to everyone because he got caught for inappropriately messaging minors. He did, however, state in his defense that they lied to him about their age. Once again, further defending himself throughout the video, he went off at drama channel Deaf Noodles for the thread he'd posted on Twitter exposing all of James's alleged victims. And there were a lot. About 90% of the information reported was accurate, however 10% was later found to be false, which is disgusting, but let's not forget that 90% of the allegations were confirmed to be true stories with receipts. James appeared to miss the point entirely whilst discussing this thread, as if most of it were all lies. That's when people started losing their respect for James once again. The top comments on his video read, "I'm sorry, but it's hilarious that he uses another palette because Morphe dumped him. I just don't know if 3 months is long enough, especially when you didn't actually step away. You were still here on Instagram or other places. I hope deep down you really are working on yourself, but I don't know." Love how he keeps talking about his last video, but we can't even look at it. So let's take a dive into the past that James thinks we've all forgotten about, as some might not take the allegations against him so seriously after he brushed it off in his recent video. Deaf Noodles had tweeted, "This is the thread James Charles mentioned in his comeback video. Feel free to look through it and make up your own mind. Hey Morphe brushes, not sure if you're up from your nap, so here's a recap of the fun things James Charles has been doing. Allegedly, 6 minors, confessed to 2, catfishing, fans. Maybe give James another Kids' Choice Award, Nickelodeon. He really loves them. 16-year-old boy James Charles allegedly inappropriate contact with. James Charles exposed for allegedly having an inappropriate interaction with minor. James's alleged victim said they were 16 in comments, according to sources. In one snap, James allegedly tells victim, "Pick me up for some road here." TikTok has since been deleted. James Charles exposed for allegedly messaging 15-year-old. When James notices that boy shared one of their messages on a story, James snaps, accuses the boy of lying about his age, then blocks him. Boy alleges he never lied about his age. James Charles exposed by 12th boy for allegedly sending inappropriate messages to him. This TikToker is 18 years old. 6 of the boys who have come forward so far were minors. James recently confessed to messaging 2 of them. James Charles' alleged victim banned from TikTok. This is only weeks after 16-year-old Isaiah exposed James for allegedly sending him nudes, which is a crime. James later apologised, which some saw as a confession. James Charles' alleged victim reacted to the ban on Instagram. He talks about speaking to the police about James. "I don't have to prove anything to you. When you see James cut off of Morphe and in jail, then you'll believe me. I don't need validation from anyone. I lied. That's why the cops are looking into the computer system. Don't say shit unless you've been a victim of something like this before. If I was a girl, it would be different, right? That's effed up. You're so quick to say I'm a clout chaser. Look at you. You're literally trying so hard to comment on my post as much as you can to get attention. Like, you can hate on me all you want, but you're the one looking stupid." He admitted to his wrongs on Twitter. Since you want to say Twitter has all the evidence, then check harder next time. James Charles accused by second underage boy of allegedly having inappropriate interactions. While the 17-year-old said nothing sexual happened, he alleges James allegedly continued to flirt with him after he told him he was 17. In the video, I introduced myself and said I was 17. In the photo he sent, he continued to flirt and said he thought I was a catfish and that I was cute. It never got sexual. Just wanted to put this out, as many guys have had similar experiences with him. And here we can see a screenshot of some of their messages. "I appreciate it. Is that you in the photos you posted? Yeah, of course. I look terrible right now, haha." Then James sent him a photo, to which he replied, "OMG, I'm actually terrified, haha. LMAO, it's not that deep." It never got sexual, but it was still weird how he continued to talk to me and flirt after I told him I was 17, but hearing many other guys speak up about it, I wanted to share. This boy is 14. James Charles accused of allegedly harassing 14-year-old Ethan Andrew on Snapchat by allegedly sending and soliciting explicit images from Ethan. Ethan claims he's the TikTok boy James mentions in Logan Paul's podcast. He says he asked James to stop. James allegedly insisted. James Charles' hometown friend exposes James to catfishing his high school soccer team for their nudes. Another one of James's high school friends also exposed him for this years ago.
Is it just me, or does like everybody from the 518 just know that James Charles catfished his whole high school soccer team for all their and like nobody ever says anything? Like, I've never seen it really go like publicly or anything, but I've talked to so many people in the 518 about like James Charles, and they're like, oh my god, you know, the catfish situation? Like, we all know it, but all the people from his hometown just don't say anything. Like, what?
James Charles allegedly sending unsolicited and requesting from fans. James Charles' alleged victims post series of TikToks explaining their experience with James. They claim James allegedly pressured them to send him explicit photos, and when they refused, James allegedly questioned their confidence.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna explain to you guys how this happened because a lot of people are curious. Again, as you can see, conversation. This all happened during the whole Tati scandal. I actually reached out to him because I felt bad for him. As you can see, he asked me for my snap right here. Anyways, I give him my snap. As you can see, he added me right here. At this point, he messaged me right away, as you can see. So, as you guys can see, we did develop a streak. I know 3 isn't a lot, but it does show to prove that we were Snapchatting each other back and forth for a bit. And at this time, we were actually on really good terms. I did not think he was going to do anything stupid. So anyways, we started talking again at 3 in the morning, and we were snapping each other. I sent him a shirtless picture, and it was literally just me working out at home. If you know me, I literally post that shit on my story all the time. It's quite obvious that he was pressuring me into sending him photos. After doing what he said, he questioned my confidence.
Alright, so as you guys can see, he's questioning my confidence because I didn't want to send him a specific explicit photo. And I just find that very disgusting. Like, who does that to a person? Over here I was telling him I was tired and that it was late, but he didn't seem to care, so... Obviously, me being me, I didn't want to lose the opportunity to talk to him, so I continued to do what he said. Anyways, I was getting really tired because it was super late. It was almost 4 o'clock a.m. and when I told him I wanted to sleep, he started to make me feel bad. He even asked me a video call and I said I didn't want to. He still proceeded to call my phone. At this point, I got very, very anxious, and as you can see, I'm literally shaking in this video because I was so scared. I didn't want to do it, so I chose not to. I told him I didn't want to video call him because I was scared my parents would walk in. He told me to go to the bathroom. This is what he said. Then he gave me attitude and he removed me off Snapchat, as you can see. What pissed me off the most is how he questioned my confidence. I'm going to be posting part 3. I'm running out of time. First of all, do not dare compare me to the people that expose him and do this for clout, because I'm definitely not doing this for clout. It's been 1.5 years since this incident actually happened between me and James, and I'm deciding to speak about it now because there's so many people speaking about their stories. It's really funny how you're saying that I was trying to lead him on, because in the beginning of the thing, he told me that he was not looking for anything, but he proceeded to call me daddy. He started calling me baby. That's clearly leading somebody on. Obviously, if you're not looking for any sort of relationship or anything, you would not ask the person for their video calls or any of that crap. And that's exactly what he did to me. Now, the only reason why I documented our conversation was because I started to suspect that he was using me for his pleasure. And it was quite obvious, so I did have a right to document that. However, prior to those conversations, I never documented anything because that's just not what I would do. I only documented this because I had my rights and I knew what he was up to. So, that's definitely not my fault. What the f are you talking about? Who's y'all? My brother said ew, and I told him to stop recording, as you can see. So before anybody says I'm clout chasing, I just want to let you guys know that that's not my intention. And this is exactly why I created a separate TikTok and Twitter account. It was because I didn't want to bring this energy onto my main platforms. I'm simply sharing my story because a lot of victims are coming forward on Twitter. I've had so many requests from people that I'm close with saying, oh, you should talk about it, you should tell people about it, blah, blah, blah. A lot of my close friends and people who were there with me at the time, they knew exactly how I felt and how this impacted me. So they were telling me like, yo, maybe it's time for you to share your story, even though it's been 1.5 years, you know, like, you should still share it. If I really want to clout chase, I would have shared my story the next day when this was all fresh during the whole Tati and Sam scandal, but I decided to shut the because I didn't want to create a whole new scandal at the time. I'm speaking out now because there's a lot of other people coming forward, and I guess it's the right time.
Another fan James Charles allegedly sent and requested from. James Charles exposed for allegedly sending unsolicited and trying to pressure straight men into having relations with him. James sent one of the men he spoke to in the video saying, "What are you worried for? It's not like anyone is actually there."
So as you can see, James Charles commented on one of my videos back in August. Then right after, he adds me on Snap, but notice he didn't follow my Instagram or TikTok. So at this point, I'm just shocked. I'm going insane. Like, I see this guy everywhere, and for him to add me, that's just crazy. So we texted for a couple days, but it was more of like, hey, what you doing? How you doing? We ended up getting the yellow heart within just 3 days. Then, you know, after those 3 days of getting to know each other and everything, the big question came out. James asked me if I'm gay. I told him I'm straight, and things start to get weird from there. He then starts leaving me on open. Literally the same day I told him I was straight, he left me on open for 10 hours. But I don't blame him, because he did say he was looking for a relationship on a podcast at the time.
Looking for love on a long-term, like, longevity.
But I would get these out of the blue snaps of him asking how am I doing or what are you doing, like, out of nowhere. And it went on for like a while, for like a week. And then he just asked me openly, would you be willing to experiment? I said no. He asked why. And I said, because I don't feel comfortable doing something like that. Then he started questioning my decision, asking why, and he tried making me feel like it was okay. He sent me this.
What are you worried for, though? It's not like anybody's actually there, like, about to suck something.
So after he sent me that, I thought to myself, why me? Like, why does he like me out of everyone in the world? Like, why is he so open to me? Like, how does he know I'm not gonna take a video of him without him noticing? So I was scrolling through TikTok one day, on the For You page, and I seen him comment on another guy's TikTok. So I went and DM'd the guy. Now, me being the curious person I am, I asked him, is James Charles hitting on you too? He responds with yes. And then I asked him, are you gay, straight, or bi? He said he was straight like me. Now, what was crazy is the same day someone hit me up and asked me, is James Charles hitting on me? Here's the screenshot. I take that back. He asked me, the James Charles that you up to. Notice it's August 26th. This is all around August. Now I asked the guy, and he was straight. Now we all ended up with the same stories. Like, he tries to make you feel like it's okay to try experimenting, which is wrong. Now James one day ends up doing something really dumb. He sends me a out of nowhere, out of context, out of the blue.
Another fan James allegedly sent inappropriate messages to. James Charles fan exposes James for allegedly harassing him for nudes, even after he allegedly told James he was straight and not interested. James said in a snap, "You're huge. Let me see, Daddy." The fan was 18 at the time. Another fan James Charles allegedly requested and sent nudes to. James Charles responds to TikToker accusing James of sliding into his DMs and then ghosting him. James claims the TikToker slid into his DMs. Here we can see James responded, "No, you slid into mine," writing, "Hey Taylor, how's it going?" and then clicked unread. So it looked like I slid into yours and I called you out. The DM is still there, lol. I'd love to post a screenshot, but it's going to give you the exact attention you're craving. Have a nice day. James allegedly this kid, messaging him for months before hanging out with him 9 days after turning 18. James Charles hanging out while in bed with a TikToker just 9 days after the TikToker turned 18. This was recorded in July 2020. James has said in a podcast he looks for boys as close as possible to 18. James Charles allegedly paid this fan for nudes. James Charles exposed for allegedly soliciting and paying for nudes from fan. James allegedly said, "Shut up and send stuff, and you'll get money if you take good pics and videos." Fan shared screenshots showing James allegedly paid him numerous times.
Hi guys, so yes, I did that. And you would do it too for a check. I was an employee. And I was going to get employee of the month, and that's on period.
Add one more minor to the list. James Charles exposed by 17-year-old boy for alleged inappropriate contact. James said, "I saw you on my FYP and thought you were super handsome, so just wanted to say hello." James has admitted to inappropriate contact with minors using TikTok as a dating app. Another minor. James Charles allegedly tried to shoot a shot with English singer-songwriter Alfie Templeman last year. Alfie turned 18 in January 2021. A fan had tweeted, "Wait, did James Charles tried to shoot a shot with you last year?" Yeah. And another minor. James Charles slid into this 17-year-old TikToker's DMs after the TikToker duetted James's TikTok Bachelor video. When the 17-year-old shared the DMs in a TikTok, James accused him of queerbaiting. TikToker ended up apologizing after getting massive backlash. Another minor came forward. James Charles's 10th underage alleged victim comes forward. This TikToker alleges they were 16 when James allegedly contacted them. They allege they have screen recordings of their interactions with James. Another fan, the 16th, 10 of which are minors, allegedly. James Charles's fan exposes him for allegedly sliding into his DMs and being very demanding. TikToker, who is 21, alleges James lost interest in him when he grew out his facial hair. This is the 16th fan of James allegedly harassed. 10 were minors.
James here. I can't believe I'm making this video right now, but I feel like this can't hurt, and I don't think it'll turn into a scandal either, so I guess here goes nothing. I made one major observation after downloading TikTok a few weeks ago, and that is that this app is pretty much a dating app. Let's be real.
And then this is the only screenshot I have, because after we started talking on Snap, I wasn't like the other boys where I was like taking a picture off a different device. I do want to say for the record, like I definitely was into him. Like I was the one who duetted the video. I wanted to talk to him, but I changed my mind. Like I just didn't like the way he was speaking to me, like demanding shit, control, like I don't know.
Another minor. James Charles's 11th underage alleged victim comes forward. Boy is 16 and appears to have allegedly exchanged photos with James before James allegedly asked him his age. James then allegedly says, still illegal, LMAO. 16 boys have come forward. So what are your thoughts on all these allegations and James's recent video? Let me know in the comments.